Hello there. Jesus, the Messiah, our Jewish Messiah, King of Israel, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, went to the garden knowing he was going to be arrested, beaten, scourged, questioned over and over again, finally, through all these trials, illegal trials, by the way, finally put before Pilate and then led to the cross, where he laid himself down, dying for the sins of humanity. All the blood and water pouring out of him, showing us that he was the Passover lamb, dying for the sins of the world. It's amazing. You get just you break up chapter 18 just to 3 sections. The betrayal and arrest in the garden, just the first 12 verses. You have Jesus entering the garden, very similar to Adam and the first garden, Garden of Eden, where God is calling out to Adam, and Jesus is here with these people saying, and he is the perfect, sinless person. Adam was sinless before he first sinned. Jesus is now sinless, as the second Adam, as the New Testament calls him. And now he is in perfection, avoiding all the kind of temptation that he could have had to get out of this, so that he could do what he was going to do for us. So he goes before Annas and Caiaphas and all these things. Caiaphas isn't really mentioned as much in the book of John. You guys get the whole Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You can kind of compare all 4 of them together. It's interesting to see what John includes that the rest of them don't, and what he doesn't have in there as well. And he does include Peter denying Jesus 3 times as Jesus said he would. And that is in the second section, verses 13 to 27. Then he is brought before Pilate in verses 28 to 40, where Pilate questions him and basically just doesn't want to do anything to irritate the Jewish body, but at the same time, he's like, what are you guys bringing to Jesus? The Jews couldn't execute Jesus the way that he was supposed to be, through crucifixion. The Jews generally, when they did illegally kill somebody, would have been stoning. But really, their ability to kill anybody was out of their hands. The Romans they claimed to killing people left and right if they messed up or they were in the way of Rome or tried to show that they were. But Jesus did nothing wrong, and we see that. John chapter 19, also 3 sections, the first 16 verses, being condemned to crucifixion. Pilate talking to him and talking to the Jews, talking to all this and dealing with that, scourging him, whipping him, thinking that might make the Jews happy enough to... Sometimes people died from just that. And then, of course, the crucifixion, verses 17 to 30, being crucified. And then 31 to 42 is just the death of Jesus by crucifixion and being removed from the cross and being laid in the tomb. All prophesied in the Old Testament, all of these fulfillments of prophecy as Jesus was promised us through the Old Testament, that he would come and die for our sins. So there's so much in here, and it's so important for us to break out of the reality of it's so common to us. We know these stories because you hear them at least every Easter, if not, a lot from your pastor. And when he's preaching, the gospel message that Jesus came to die for us. It's really amazing, impactful message that we so easily get away from the commonality of it. We're so used to it. But we had to embrace what was happening. And all of these things that he went through, he did for us in our place, so that we could spend eternity with him. All we have to do is believe that the cross did that for us. It's amazing. That's what I've got today. Keep studying these chapters, and appreciate you listening. God bless. Have a great day.